What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to discuss this. LeBron James has this like a Barbie doll, or I don't know if they call it a Ken, but it's by Mattel, the same people who make these Barbie dolls, right? And a lot of people are criticizing him, for having this dog. Um, I don't really see what the big deal is, but I want to play some audio from Jason Whitlock, right? And Jason Whitlock, he more so than speaking on the doll itself. He's really addressed LeBron James is his brand, right? And so that's why, and so that's what I wanna that's what I want to focus on too, like LeBron James's brand and how his brand is different, or it's not as strong as as a Michael Jordan brand. And so with that being said, I want to play the audio from Jason Whitlock's show, him addressing LeBron James's brand.
I think that if LeBron's brand were as strong as it was supposed to be, they would have done some doll through Nike and some LeBron James action figure through Nike and through LeBron James's version of Nike shoes. But because his brand isn't that strong, he's partnered with Barbie and Mattel and he's trying to somewhat leech off their audience and their brand. And because he can't get there, he's so polarized his own brand that he needs to partner with Barbie and it sounds like I'm being hyper negative towards LeBron, but I'm just telling you the facts that
All right, so now I think that LeBron James brand is not as strong as it could be, in my opinion. Not because of like some of the political stances that LeBron take, but now that might play a role in it. But I just think that I just don't think that like the way LeBron James has gone about his career, it really captivates people. Michael Jordan more so captivated people, and people were like in awe of Michael Jordan. So that's why his brand took off, right? And his brand, that's part of the reason why his brand took off. Another reason why his brand, Michael Jordan's brand, took off is because um, he benefited from the times that he was in, right? Because it was just so much he like timing, I think, played a big part in Michael Jordan's success far as building his brand. Nike was new. Basketball was blowing up, and then so you put all three. You put Michael Jordan, you put basketball together, and Nike. All three of those they blew up at the same time. Everything was just going global at the same time, and so they all really helped each other. So then LeBron James comes down, when it comes down to like anybody who came after Michael Jordan, even Kobe Bryant, like his brand to was not as strong as Michael Jordan, or if you take any other professional basketball player, their brand just wasn't as strong or as So part of that, like I said, was just was timing, and just it was just like the perfect storm. So it's not all LeBron James's fault. I don't think, and I don't even think that when it comes to his political LeBron James's political stance, that has a real heavy impact on it, because there have been other ball players who who haven't had the who don't take political stances, just like Michael Jordan didn't take political stances, right? And their brand still wasn't as strong as Michael Jordan. So I think it's kind of unfair to compare LeBron James's his brand to to uh to Michael Jordan. Now is LeBron James brand? I think his brand is bigger than Kobe's, like as far as like his shoes and stuff like that. Um, I think LeBron James shoes and his merch probably do sell better than what Kobe's do. But just to compare him to Michael Jordan, I think it's not fair because like Michael Jordan brand just it was just a perfect storm. And all that, everything just took off at the same time. It was an explosion for Nike. The league was growing, and also Mike was, you know, Mike brand, and then so Mike just rode that wave, so to say, when it comes to his brand. So I don't really think, and I'm not even really a big LeBron James fan, but when you think about it, you got to be honest, and you compare like not just LeBron James, but anybody, and you see that that era of basketball was just special, and then Mike came along at the right time, and so I don't know if you'll ever have a situation where as though somebody's brand will be able to get as big as Mike, even like I said with Kobe's basketball career and how Kobe played the game. A lot of people like Kobe, the Black Mamba, and was inspired by Kobe. But I can't recall like Kobe's shoe. Now, when Kobe first started, he was with Adidas. Then Kobe went to Nike, right? And even his Nikes really, to me, didn't really take off and sell the way that Mike's did, because it's almost to the fact that like once Mike landed Nike and and then everything took off, it kind of like plateaued. And it took Mike to a level where he is like I mean, he's global. Mike is global, and you know, it's just so much surrounding that, man. It'll be hard to beat Michael Jordan's brand. And so when you compare anybody else's brand to Michael Jordan, I think you're just doing them. It's unfair. You're doing them a disservice. I think, like I said, if Kobe would have came along at that time instead of Mike, or it had been somebody like Clyde Drexler, um, who had came along, their brand probably would be big too. But it just was the perfect storm. Now, as to this doll that LeBron James have, right? Like, I don't know how to feel about that. To me, don't really care about the doll. And it's a collector's item. I think this doll that LeBron James has is like going for like $80. So it's a collector's item. I don't know. If whoever wants to buy it, I mean, they can buy it. To me, I don't care either way. I think Michael Jordan had like a little action figure doll too. Um, and I don't think, I don't know. I don't think people was too much into that either. So I think him having a doll is not a big deal. But I do think that people are making a big deal because it's like a Barbie doll, and Barbie is typically known for being like, like a girl's toy instead of like, like if he had it like a GI Joe, then that would have been a different thing. But you know, other than that, man, I just think that him having his own doll is not really a big deal. Um, it's a collector's item. I don't think kids will be able to, most kids won't be able to get that for $80. But yeah, so let me see what else Jason Whitlock is talking about as far as LeBron James brand. But when you compare his brand to Michael Jordan, that's just unfair.
The Jordan brand is so strong. He didn't need to partner with Mattel to do some doll. If he wanted to do some doll and put it out there, he would build his own brand around that and Michael Jordan's values and his excellence and his and people, black, white, brown, whatever, would buy that Michael Jordan brand. But LeBron James, with his brand, doesn't reach as much of the majority audience as he could if he had chosen the Michael Jordan lane and said, you know what? I don't know nothing about no politics. I'm gonna stay out of it. I'm a basketball player, but he's been out here trying. and MLK Ultra, as I said earlier in the show, been out here doing too much, and he's limited his brand, and he now needs to partner with some white woman doll in order to enhance himself.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I just think that because when I think of LeBron, and it may be different for different people, right? But when I think of LeBron James, I don't really associate him with like different political stances, and that's probably because I'm not really like into politics like that. So I don't even know like where LeBron stand on any political issues, And I think basketball fans really don't really follow LeBron for his political stances and stuff like that. Just like I didn't follow Michael Jordan for his political stances. So I think it just all boils down to being in the right place at the right time. And Mike just, he just caught the perfect storm, So because now Mike did have some controversy one time about he made a statement and said something about Republicans buy Nikes too, right? And so Mike Jordan caught some backlash for that because people wanted to know like where Mike stood on a certain political issue. And so Mike was, he made it clear that he was going to be neutral in that aspect. He was going to keep his politics to itself. And he said the reason why he was going to keep his politics to itself is because Republicans buy Nikes too. So, you know, and he caught some backlash for that. But other than that, Mike like he said, Mike pretty much stayed neutral. And LeBron didn't stay neutral, but again, I don't, me personally, I don't get no, I just follow these guys for basketball, not for their political stances. So, and I think a lot of people are like that. People can protest anything you say. People gonna protest it, whether you say, you leaning left or you leaning right. Somebody, and or if you don't take a stance at all, people gonna protest that. So, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the way I feel. I don't think LeBron James, his brand is weak like that. It's just that when you compare anybody brand to Michael Jordan brand, people just gonna come up short. It's just like comparing any entertainer to Michael Jackson. That's it. Michael Jackson caught that perfect wave. He set the bar, and then anybody who comes after Michael Jackson, it's they gonna fall short if they trying to be Michael Jackson. The best thing you can do is just be the best you that you can be. And with that being said, that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you out in the next video.